Hey, happy Thursday thoughts. I'm excited to be here with y'all. And welcome to another episode of Thursday Thoughts. I couldn't be more excited to be here. So, listen, kicking off this Thursday Thoughts, what am I grateful for? I am grateful for family. So, for those who don't know, I have a grandson who's 14. Yes, my baby is 14. But I also have not one, but two granddaughters. I have my grandbaby, Akari. She was born in September. And I have a brand new baby girl that came this past Monday by the name of Mia. So I'm super thankful for the health of my grandbabies. They're adorable and beautiful. And I'm just excited and very, very blessed for them. So today on Thursday Thoughts, I want to ask you all, what are some things, as we do all the time, what are you thankful for? We have to always recognize our blessings and what we're thankful for, especially in a time where there's a long list of stuff that, guess what, we could complain about, right? Complaining ain't going to change nothing. But never lose sight of the things that you have that are blessings in your life. So let's keep that in mind. Now, today's topic, hey, Queenie Beer, thank you for joining. So today on Thursday Thoughts, our topic is today, it's off a book that I read a summary on called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And the author is Shad Helmstetter. So that's S-H-A-D. Last name is spelled Helmstetter. Helmstetter. And so the theme of today's subject is really how our thoughts shape our reality. And we're in control of what we think, right? We're in control of what we think, what we say, and ultimately what we feel. And we really have more power on our circumstances than some of us actually tap into. So today I'm going to give you a couple insights I gather. If you see me looking down, it's because, look, I took notes, y'all. Took notes. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to bring out is that our mind is like a garden, and whatever we plant in our mind is going to grow. I'm going to say that again. Our mind is like a garden, and whatever we plant in our minds is going to grow. So our thoughts are like seeds. And have you ever found yourself sitting around thinking? And I've caught myself thinking. Sometimes it could be thinking of a situation that didn't turn out the way I wanted to. So I may be thinking on that thing like, you know what? When this such a certain thing happened, and I'm playing it back in my head as if I could change it. Again, I'm focusing on something. That's where my energy is going. And it's how am I talking to myself on it? Am I saying, what did I learn from that lesson and how can I do it better? Or am I beating myself up because things didn't turn out and I'm focusing more of my energy in those thought patterns on, you know what, that was the stupidest thing, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Again, our mind is like a garden. Be careful on what we do and what we think. The next thing is, are we having thoughts like, I'm not good enough? We have to be really careful, ladies. Are we having those thoughts? I'm not good enough. What are we thinking? Right? What are we thinking? The next thing is to really start thinking about the subconscious mind, because whatever your subconscious mind believes, it's going to believe whatever it is we're telling it, right? So again, focusing. Where are we focusing? What are we telling ourselves? What are we feeding ourselves? That goes to the music we're listening to, right? Even the music, what we were watching. What are we taking in? And what things are we saying that can reinforce positive thoughts towards ourselves? For example, our subconscious mind, believe it or not, it doesn't know the difference between something that's really happening to us versus things that we're merely thinking about. An example of this, you may find yourself, especially in today's time, with a lot of things coming up in the news and things like that. So you may really thinking about, if this happened, then that can happen. And as you're thinking, you may even start feeling yourself getting anxious. You may start feeling yourself being stressful. Your subconscious is now, your mind is really now saying, okay, this is real. Like, this is like a real threat is happening now. And so again, we want to be careful, because whatever we tell ourselves is true. It's true. You know, I had a good girlfriend a long time ago. You know, I used to complain. I used to say, we get together, some of us would say, there are no good men out there. There's no good men. And as long as you continue to put there's no good men out there, that narrative, you begin to believe it. And that's not the truth at all. But if you focus on bad experiences and you continue to water and nurture those bad experiences, guess what? That's where your attention is, and that's where your focus is going to be. And guess what? You're going to attract what? No good men. But if you shift the narrative and it is good men, and you're saying there are good men, and you're looking forward to meeting a man that has these characteristics and this and that, right? You're listing the things you want. A good communicator, somebody who's attentive with a great sense of humor, and who really knows what he wants. You're listing those things that you're looking for, as opposed to throwing out a blanket negative statement. When we throw out those blanket negative statements, we, again, we're watering our subconscious self with these negative things. And those negative things are where we're focusing, and our thoughts are on the negative. And we have to shift that. And that's what this book is all about. Again, I'm going to give you the title of the book is What to Say When We Talk to Ourselves. Like, catch yourself sometime when you're sitting in thought, right? When you're sitting in thought. So I want to give you, a quick exercise, if you will. I want you to think about, have you ever had a thought that made you anxious? Think about that. Have you ever had a thought that made you anxious? And if so, what was that thought? You don't have to necessarily share it in the chat if you don't want to. But if you had a thought that makes you anxious, what was that thought? And then I want you to really become aware of that. The next thing I want you to say, when you have a thought like that, what feelings are created? What are some feelings that gets created with your thoughts? So if you catch yourself just sitting around thinking about stuff, whatever you're starting to think about, think, what feelings am I getting by what I'm thinking? What feelings am I getting? Okay? Because again, whatever we're thinking, our subconscious mind doesn't know these are thoughts we're just thinking about. It becomes real. And so that's why it's so important. It's so important in what we tell ourselves, right? It could be something as simple as if you're cooking and you mess up the food, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so stupid, I can't believe that. And you may not realize when you say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm so stupid, I did that. But you've just called yourself stupid. And because it rolled off your tongue so quickly, you may not even think, oh, that's not such a bad thing. But it is, because you shouldn't call yourself stupid. We have to catch how we talk to ourselves. We wouldn't want anybody to tell our children they were stupid, right? So we need to show ourselves that much tenderness and love that we would show our other loved ones that we care about. Think about how you're treating you, how you're talking to you. It's so important, you guys. And the other thing is, when you find yourself having negative thoughts, reframe those negative thoughts. Reframe those negative thoughts. So if you get a thought that comes in, and that thought maybe you're starting to think of everything in your life that didn't turn out the way you wanted it to turn out, right? You're thinking like, well, this didn't turn out, and you're going down memory lane. I mean, you're spiraling at this point. You're going through hit after hit after hit of different things that didn't turn out right. Guess what? For everything you could point out that didn't turn out right, I'm sure there's certain things that you can point out that you are still blessed for having. You didn't get the job that you wanted, or you're not making the money that you wanted. But guess what? You're making more money than you've made in the past. Or you have a roof over your head. You have a place to sleep. You have food to eat. You're not hungry. You have all your limbs. Come on, y'all. Let's not take these things for granted, because these are some priceless. You have your health. These are some priceless things. Because I can tell you, it's so easy to go down that rabbit hole of negative thoughts because we get familiar with the negativity. Let's not focus our attentions on that, and be very, very cautious of how much time you're spending in negative thought, in the negative mindset, because that negative mindset will create a limiting belief, because whatever you seek, you will find. If you seek things that aren't going right in your life, guess what? You're going to find a whole lot of stuff that's not going right in your life. If you're looking for only the things that are wrong, you're going to find a lot of things that are wrong. But guess what? If you look for the things that are blessings, that are right, that are good, then you're going to find more things that are good, that you like, and you're going to feel better. And you're going to change your mindset, because when you're looking for positive things, your mind is going to start expecting positive things, which will make you be able to actually have greater clarity and help you reach the lifestyle and the goals that you have set for yourself. So I'm telling you, this is so true. This is so true. So again, I really hope you guys can check out this book, because it's so, so good. Now, I want to pose this question out. What's one thing, if you could focus on today, that might make your mood better? What would that be? If it was one thing you could focus on today that would make your mood better, think about that. Think about that. And then the other thing I want you to keep in mind is your words shape your feelings and your actions. So choose your words carefully. I talked about before, when you say, oops, I'm so stupid because I did X, Y, and Z. Again, they shape your actions. Words carry power. So instead of you saying, you're too old for something, you're too old to start over, instead say, you know what? Every day is a new day and a new opportunity for me to learn something different, because you're never too old to learn and grow. Never too old to learn. As long as you have breath in your body, there's always opportunity to grow, there is this lady, and I saw her on Instagram, and I can't think of her name, but she's an older lady, and she's a professional dancer. And she started back her career, and I believe she's 50 plus. But when I tell you, this lady is doing some phenomenal things now with her life. Don't let age put you in a box that says what you can't do. Somebody better go talk to Martha Stewart, because Martha would tell you in a heartbeat, age didn't stop her from doing anything. Age didn't stop Tina Turner. Tina Turner had her top albums. Her What's Love Got to Do with It album, which skyrocketed her career when she was in her 40s. Y'all, age is just a number. Change the narrative on how you see things. Even when things look the bleakest, your mindset can change the trajectory of your life. I think about our ancestors. I think about our ancestors that were in slavery. I think about, Sojourner Truth. I think about Harriet Tubman. They didn't, Harriet Tubman, she didn't see, she was a slave. She didn't see her freedom, but she envisioned her freedom. And with all the obstacles, this woman escaped slavery, then went back and brought hundreds of other people out of slavery. Talk about the power of a mindset and of positivity. And there was everything around her that was built to say, definitely, this could not be done. this could not be done. And she did it. So the mindset and the possibilities of hope and faith and belief in yourself and the narrative of thinking of positive outcomes of what you really want as opposed to focusing on what you've lost or what you don't have, but seeing what are the things that you have and how can you make the most of your life with that. So think about that. Now, here's some real talk, some self-talk do's and don'ts. First, if you say, I'm not good at this, don't tell yourself that. Because that's telling your brain to stop trying. Next, I'll never be successful. That's reinforcing limiting beliefs. Or I always mess up. That creates a fear of failure. Or how about, again, I touched on this a little bit a while ago, I'm too old or it's too late for me to start. That blocks new opportunities. Again, we're never too old, y'all. So instead, let's say I'm learning to improve every day. Or success is a journey and I'm on my way. Every day, do something that's going to get you closer to your goal, right? If we're talking about a fitness journey, every day do something. Even if it's just 10 minutes, every day do something. And then you can say to yourself, number one, you're not letting yourself down. And then number two, you're building a healthy habit and you will see results. Anytime we're in action and we stay in motion, we get things done. You may not see a huge turnaround or huge results right away, but with persistence and consistency, you will see results. And when we think about our mistakes, instead of beating ourselves up, say, you know what? I learned from my mistakes. Everything has a lesson in it. So if something doesn't work out, that's a lesson. What did I learn from this? Right? And the best time to start was yesterday. And the next best time is today. So if you've been saying putting stuff off, procrastinating, instead of beating yourself up, say, you know what? Let me start today. Sure, I should have started yesterday. Didn't do it. But you know when the next best time to start is? Right now, today. Okay? So let's get into some myths or some truths when it comes to, self-talk and what we think. Myth number one, positive self-talk is just lying to yourself. That's a total myth. Because your brain believes what you repeat to yourself. That's why affirmations are so powerful, because your brain will begin to believe it. And isn't it a powerful thing to know that we have that level of control? Because our brain and our mindset are so powerful. That's the key to how successful we live this life we're in. Myth number two is, I can't change my thoughts. They just happen. Truth is, you can't control your first thought. However, you can control how you entertain it and if you repeat it. So you're right. You can't control when certain thoughts just pop into your head because a thought is a thought. However, you can control how long are you going to entertain that thought. If you get a thought of somebody who hurt your feelings, are you going to sit on that thought and let it just marinate in your brain and conjure up all these negative emotions and now you're back in your feelings over something that happened years ago? Or are you going to replace that thought with something else intentionally and every time that thought comes up, make a conscious effort not to repeat that thought? The next myth is affirmations don't work. Listen, repeating affirmations without belief doesn't work. However, when you say your affirmations, but you're taking action as well, you will begin to believe it. You have to begin to say the words because we've learned that what you begin to say and speak into existence, your subconscious will begin to believe, your brain will begin to believe it. So the more you tell yourself, and then you're actually doing actions that align with your words, now you're living in alignment with what you say you value. So it really does work. So in closing, everybody, I just want to say with this week, I really wanted to just share the book that I read. Again, What Do You Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shad Helmstetter. It's a great book. I really hope you all get it, read it. It's really good, y'all. And again, remember, your thoughts are powerful. They can literally change the trajectory of your life, and you're worth it. So change your thoughts, you change your life. Change your thoughts, and you change your beliefs, you change your life. Okay, so with that said, I wish you all to have a pleasant evening, have a good weekend. My grandbaby just got here, so I'm getting ready to go play with her. And again, I wish you all a very blessed and happy evening. It's been fun chatting. Have a good one. Bye, y'all.